Alright, my minions. Ah, yes. Monday motivation. And there are times we all need that motivation when that grind is just banging at us, banging at us, banging at us. That motivation is needed. We need that internal, external source, something that we hold on to, we're gripping on to, and it's just raw, and it's there, and it's what keeps us going, and keeps us moving day after day after day, especially for those of us who are in law enforcement, security, military, first responders, medical, when you're just bombarded with trauma and tragedy and the worst that humanity has to offer, and just blah. You need something that anchors you, that solidifies you, that just keeps you there. And so what I want to address today is your oath, your code, your creed, what you live by, what you die by. That is what holds a lot of us down when we're white knuckling it, when we're burning the candle at both ends. It's what keeps us calm, it keeps us sane, it keeps us centered. There are different oaths, codes, and creeds that we all live by, not just, you hear, all law enforcement sworn, they have an oath. Military, when you're enlisting, I can only speak from the enlistment side, I don't know what the officers do, but when you're enlisting, there's your oath. Anyone who works for the federal government in general has an oath that they take. And I addressed this before. I had a first video that I did about your oath, and it's important, but this one's a little different tempo on that take. Even the medical community has an oath. The Marine Corps are probably most famous for their code and oath and creed. But every branch has their military has their own creed, their own ethics, whatever you want to call it. You heard it before. Your word is your bond. Give someone your word, you live up to it. You don't live up to it, you're not trusted. You ain't worth a damn. Just put it that way. You ain't worth two flies smashed. So, by the way, this is over 5 years of growth. So, I don't care, I'm not cutting my hair. There you go. I said it. What do you want to do? I don't have to. But anyways, there's different oaths, but many of them have a lot in common. So I'm gonna go over a few. Just put them out there, let you hear them. You can Google them, read about them. They're more than just words. There's the Code of Conduct in Geneva Convention. And it's the thing about oaths is they're not just a set of words, they're not just there for liability purposes, for the higher ups, the head shit, the brass, the powers that be to cover their ass. That's not even what it's about. A person's oath, their code, their creed, what they live by, what they die by, what they die for, what they live for. It's there to hold them down and anchor them in their worst moments, at their lowest moments, lowest points in life, to keep them whole, to keep them sane, to remind them what they're fighting for. Like one of my own personal codes is I tell people, I'm a father, I'm whatever you want to call it, boyfriend, significant other, maybe husband again, and a man first before anything else. Those three things. Definitely a father, not what I wouldn't do for my kids. Live for them, die for them. There's no one whose ass I wouldn't kick for them. There's no throat I wouldn't slit for them. I know I'm being kind of grim right now, but those are my babies. You don't fuck with my babies. Period. My kids can attest to it. They know they can come to me for anything, and I will address any problem. And I have addressed adults and other fathers and other mothers and schools and whoever. You don't fuck with my kids, ever. There's a problem, you come to me. I will deal with it. I will fix it. you know, boyfriend, husband. And then man, I'm a man first before anything else outside of obviously father and boyfriend, husband comes first, then man, you know. But that's just my personal, you know, screw the job, screw everything else. You know, I'm not going to choose my job over my kids. I'm not going to choose my job over my family. I'm not going to choose anything outside of the home over my family, my kids and my family. You know, I'm not going to sell myself out, sell myself short, betray my code and what I believe in for a job or something else. I'm getting man first. So, but then, a person's code, creed, the oath they take, it's personal. It's personal to them. It's personal to you. Those of you who've done it, who've lived through it, y'all can relate, y'all know what I'm talking about. Those who haven't, okay, something different. You know, a coward's a coward regardless. Y'all know who y'all are. You know. But some of these oaths, like the police oath, you know, vary state from state, jurisdiction from jurisdiction, but they all have something in common for the most part, staying true to the Constitution. The one that I like right now, I'm about to read for y'all, is from California. But you'll notice if you look up other ones, even for the Commonwealth of Virginia here, generally the same. You know, law enforcement is law enforcement. You're there for the people. You know. So here, with this one, I'm going to read it. So I've got my speckles. I'll read it for you. Basically, it says, I, your name, wherever your name is, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of California, which that could be Commonwealth of Virginia or whoever, you know, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. So, as it basically same across the board. It's Constitution, first and foremost. And then obviously each state has their constitution, how they're governed. Against enemies, foreign and domestic. Now with law enforcement, for the most part, it's all, for the most part, usually more domestic than foreign. You know. But, yes. If a terrorist attack happens, it's all hands on deck. It's not just the federal government. You know. But the Constitution. You know. I swore oath to protect the people. Put myself before the people. Put myself in harm's way for the people. To me, the country is the people. The Constitution protects the country. The Constitution protects the people. The people are the country, not fictitious, imaginary borders, imaginary lines on the map that don't exist in the actual physical world. The people are the country. People make up the country. People represent what the country is and what the country stands for. It's all in the heart and soul of the people. I protect the people. I put myself before the people. I put myself for the people. That is the whole point for security, law enforcement, military, down to its core, even first responders, down to its core. They have different missions, obviously different priorities, but down to the core of things, people first. Plain and simple. Move on to the next one. They say this is basically just the enlistment one. If you're enlisted in the military, this is the bread and butter. This is basically what you're going to be getting into. Again, I don't know what the officers do. But enlistment is, and it's, again, generally the same. I, your name, do swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of officers appointed over me according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. quick, simple. Put that hand up, that right hand up. And then you swear and affirm and all that pretty stuff. But the words have meaning. The Constitution has meaning. Remember, and notice it's always Constitution first. The president is not first. The officers appointed over you is not first. The Constitution is first. Think about that. Because everybody else, the president, officers, politicians, even law enforcement, security, whatnot, we're not above the law. Constitution comes first. That's what we're adhering to. That's what governs everybody and protects everybody. Me as a law enforcement professional, security professional, former military, it's my job to enforce that, and along with other laws and ordinances and whatever. But that's what that is. So. But now, as I mentioned before, it's not just law enforcement and the military. Medical professionals, you've heard it before, the Hippocratic Oath, which is, I was doing research on that. It's a whole different, it is an oath, but it's different rules and ethics. It's almost like a book of what this thing is. It's Greek. Its origins are Greek. So, and ironically, you've heard the term, first do no harm, is the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm. That actual phrase isn't in the Hippocratic Oath, but the Hippocratic Oath has updated over the years to protect and basically to protect and keep up with modern day medicine and modern day practices in order to ensure doctors, nurses, medical professionals are providing the best care and putting the patients first. I'll put it that way. So, but they have their own oath, Hippocratic Oath. I would look into it. Read it, because it is Greek and it's ancient. It has gods and deities and stuff. The original Hippocratic Oath has gods and deities and all types of stuff in it. And you put your mindset into the time to where it was written, it's justifiable, it's understandable why that is, and which is why it has been updated to fit modern times, and it will continue to be updated. But it's just proof they have their own oath. Now, I'm going on about oaths. It's not just about oaths. Again, you have creeds and you have codes. One that is near and dear to me, former sailor. I will always be a sailor. I miss the water. I tell you all the time I was born in the wrong century. I should have been a privateer. Should have been a privateer. As a sailor's creed, and I am a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy, those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my goodness. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I'm committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. Goodness. I guess I just have to say that every morning. I don't know how I messed that up. But it happens. That's why I leave these bloopers in there. They're funny. But that creed there is near and dear to me. And the Army, the Marines, they all have their own personal creed, not just the military enlistment, general enlistment that we all had to do. Each branch has their own personal creed, what they live by, and code, core values that they have. That is at the center of the organization. But even with that creed, again, the first thing is I will defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and then obey the orders of those appointed over me. Constitution comes first. You have codes of conduct. You have so many different things. And even if you're not part of any of these organizations at all, we all have our own personal code. You have to have a code that you live by. And will die for. Or whatever it is. It doesn't have anything to do with God and country. It doesn't have anything to do with really anything but yourself. Making yourself a better person and standing by what you represent and who you are. As a male, as a female, as whatever. Like I said, for me, my personal code. Father, significant other, man before anything else. This is what drives me. When I give my word, that's what it is. I don't break that for anybody. With that, I've earned trust. People know they can trust me. People know they can rely on me. Period. They know I'm going to do things right. And it's that code that forces police officers to, because this is a no-no, to report on other police officers who are breaking the law, even though it's going to turn them into a pariah and turn them into an outcast. They hold on to that code. They hold on to that oath because they know it's true. They know it's right. That's what it is. In your darkest hour, your darkest moments, we have nothing but doubt. Your oath, your code, your creed, that's what's going to drive you forward. There are people who've been POWs who have not betrayed their men, not betrayed their country, not betrayed the people of their country, didn't give up secrets, never broke because of their oath, because of the codes of conduct, because of their creed. Obviously, there are other people who had some other influence that kept them pushing, but there are many of them whose oath is the only thing that they could hold on to. When everything was stripped away from them, everything was taken away from them, combatants, the enemy combatants, terrorists, whatever you want to call them, insurgents, whatever, they could not take their oath from them. They could not take their code from them. They could not take their creed from them. That's what it is. So on this Monday, this very Monday, if you've got nothing left, let your code, your creed carry you on into the Tuesday. Let this motivate you. Let this get you going. Let this get you pumping. Yes. Yes. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're up to. That's what we're doing. A lot of people take it for granted. I know when I first enlisted, 18, fresh out of high school, still wet behind the ears, didn't know shit from shit. I held it in my right hand, spouted off the oath. No big deal. I didn't learn to appreciate it. I didn't understand what it meant until I was living the life, until I could relate. Until you have something to risk, something to put on the line, something to lose, until you got skin in the game, you probably won't appreciate those words. They'll probably just be words to you. They won't have no meaning. Until your code's been tested. It's all fun and games. It's all pretty. You can brag about your code when it's all shiny and rainbows. But when it really comes down to it, do you mean it? Is that what it is? Is that what you're really about? Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, yes. So if you don't have a code, you don't have, develop one. Get on that journey. Figure it out. What are you about? What is your code? What will you not break? What will you not sacrifice? Because like I said, those of you who have been in it, those of you who can relate, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you can't, you've got a journey of your own. So it is what it is. So, but that's all I have for you today. I greatly appreciate you being here. I really do. Please do like, subscribe, and share, follow, comment. I've got a few of you comment on some of my other videos, and you can attest to it. I will respond. If you have questions, I will answer them. I might even ask you some questions, so feel free. If you disagree, let me know. We'll discuss it. Please like and subscribe. There's more to follow, more to come. I've got some fun things coming with these videos. Me and my brother, me and my partner, Mike from Mike's Car Hole, developed a few things. We're gonna make our videos much more interesting. That's my man there. So he's yes. But so there's some good things coming down the line, as always. But thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you being here. I really, really do. I hope this motivates you. I hope this helps you. If you have a different aspect on oaths, creeds, and codes, oaths, creeds, and codes, let me know. Always think about it, So you can tell me what's good about them, what's bad about them. I'm game for all that as well. If you think they're just hollow words, tell me why. Enlighten me. But thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Happy Monday. But not working.